Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Elakas Fun Fact Fridays. On today's Fun Fact Friday we continue celebrating Black History Month and to the lead up of Zambia's independence anniversary celebrations. Now, before I continue, I just want to let you know that I am doing this Fun Fact Friday slightly different than usual because the information on this particular topic is not only vital for more people to know about, but I felt it important that I gave as much detail as I possibly could. And the good thing about this is that when I conducted the research on several platforms, I found that every single platform was providing the information in the exact context, and so I did not need to collect information from various sources in order to create my notes. And so this particular place where I will be reading from as opposed to my own notes, and the reason I've chosen to do this is because I value what this particular source are doing, and in terms of preserving Zambian history, Zambian culture, and I would highly recommend that a lot of people go and check out their website and bookmark it, because I definitely have. I shall be mentioning their name at the end of this video, and I shall be putting it in the description as well, so you can go ahead and click it, because what they're doing is absolutely amazing. And so now to continue on Elaka's Fun Fact Friday, we today are going to be talking about the Freedom Statue. Now, for those who've never heard of the Freedom Statue, especially if you've never visited Zambia or you don't know anything about Zambia, the Freedom Statue is a statue that can be found alongside Independence Avenue in Zambia, and it depicts a man, as you can see right now, who is breaking chains. Now, when a lot of people look at the Freedom Statue, they tend to think it is just symbolism of us breaking free from oppression, breaking free from colonization, when in fact the Freedom Statue is a literal depiction of a man who broke actual chain. And this man in question happens to be Zanco Mpundu Mutembo. His real name is Mpundu Mutembo, and Zanco is a name that was given to him by his fellow freedom fighters. So yes, the Freedom Statue is actually of an actual freedom fighter who actually broke chains in real life. And so the story goes like this. Zanco Mpundu Mutembo was born in 1936 in Mbala, which is in the northern part of Zambia, and also just happens to be the place where my mom is from. Shout out to mom. Basically, his name Mpundu actually means twin, and so him and his twin brother Arnold got involved in the political struggle against the colonialists in Northern Province at the age of 18 in 1954. They dropped out of school after their father's death and joined the political struggle led by Robert Makasa and Simon Mwansa Kapwepwe. After many years of getting involved in the fight for freedom and having made a major impact in the Northern Province, having gone through imprisonment, beatings, and basically the types of things that everyone knows freedom fighters, people who are fighting for freedom and for independence and for rights, for human rights, go through, this was no different in his case. And so Mpundu Mutembo, alongside 7 others, was sent to Kenya, where Dedan Kimathi was leading a rebellion against the colonial rulers. Their mission was to learn how to carry out their own rebellion back home. When he returned, Mutembo worked closely with Kaunda and Kapwepwe, following them on their campaign trail. So before Kaunda and others would speak, Mutembo would go on stage first to tell the crowds how bad the colonial government was, hence the importance to fight for independence. In the early 1960s, Kaunda wrote a letter to the governor, Sir Arthur Benson, to protest against a clause in the constitution that gave Europeans an upper hand in the legislature. Mutembo took up the task to deliver the letter to the government house, which is now currently the State House in Zambia. And when he went there, he said, "I have a message from President Kaunda." He announced when he met the governor. On his way out, however, he was arrested and tortured, and about 1500 hours that day, he was taken to Kaunda's office in Chilenje, where he was celebrated as a hero. In 1961, Mutembo's twin brother Arnold was beaten to death alongside with 7 others by colonial police officers trying to quell the political unrest at the height of Chachacha uprising. The killings took place near Senga Hill in Northern Province. And so far, you can see the type of struggle and how immense this freedom statue and how important it is that people understand that it's merely not just a statue to say that we have broken the chains from colonialism, but it's a depiction of the types of struggle and at what lengths we are willing to go in order to earn our right to live as free human beings in this world. Moving forward, dauntless, about 3 a.m. in the morning the following day, Mutembo was taken to Cairo Road, where he climbed a tree with a megaphone to denounce the new constitution at 6 a.m. He started proclaiming his message, but was soon surrounded by police who threatened to shoot him if he did not get down. And then he was arrested. Today, the tree still stands opposite the main post office and later came to be known as a Zanco tree. He then appeared in court after having been involved in a political brawl in Matero. He had been badly beaten in the fight and lost 2 of his front teeth, a mark he still bears. When the judge asked him to demonstrate to the court how he had been beaten, the young freedom fighter walked across the courtroom from the witness box and reaching where one of the prosecutors, a white man, was standing and punched him in the face. Sorry, I can't help but laugh at that. Giving him a bloody nose. His action was a blatant show of rebellion in the face of the colonial government. At the end of the trial, he was sentenced to 10 years in prison, plus 4 lashes for punching the prosecutor. He was sent to Livingstone State Prison, where he was held in chains. While in prison, Mutembo was forced to witness executions of 3 black men accused of murdering a white man. Kaunda visited Mutembo and negotiated his transfer to another cell. He was transferred to Mukobeko Maximum Prison in Kawe. On December 31st, 1963, with independence now imminent, Sir Evelyn Denison Hone, the last governor for Northern Rhodesia, asked Kaunda for a symbol the new nation would be known by. Would it be the Victoria Falls, or perhaps the Muchinga Escarpment, or any other natural resource? Kaunda, however, had other ideas. Kaunda and the United National Independence Party leadership had chosen Mutembo to be the symbol of the new nation. Kaunda called Mutembo a strongly built young freedom fighter from Mbala, who had earned himself a place among the ranks of freedom fighters such as Simon Mwansa Kapwepwe, and told him that he had been chosen to die for the nation and told him to be strong. Later that day, Mutembo drove with Sir Evelyn Hone in his official vehicle with a mounted police escort down King George Avenue, which is now called Independence Avenue. At Force headquarters, after being interviewed, he was taken to a room where 18 military officers stood with guns at ready. He was then handcuffed to a chain and ordered to break free or get shot. Shockingly, he pulled so hard and broke the chains in full view of soldiers and photographers who took photos of what seemed like magical power. It was from these photos that the freedom statue would be crafted by casting experts. The governor, Sir Evelyn Hone, raised his hand and announced, "You are now the symbol of the nation." Mutembo then made his demands for independence as rehearsed by Kaunda and Kapwepwe before the governor. He demanded that Zambia should be granted independence on 24th October 1964, remembering the day when ZANC was formed. At the end of the ceremony, Mutembo was made to swear on the Bible and drove with the governor to his residence, where he stayed for 4 days. On 5th January 1964, Mutembo was taken to a house about 2 kilometers from Government House, where he stayed for the next few months, with white police officers guarding him and was given people to prepare his food. Mutembo was also given an official vehicle, a Land Rover station wagon, bearing the initials of his status SNNRG, symbol of the National Northern Rhodesian Government, and a Union Jack. To this day, Mutembo still carries a staff given to him by Chief Mpezeni back in 1958 and wears a royal blue tie with small white prints of the British royal crest given to him by Sir Evelyn in 1963 when he was his guest at the government house. And he still wears a 1964 t-shirt bearing the image of the Freedom Statue. In March 1964, he was summoned to Government House by Sir Evelyn to go on a trip with him to Abercorn, now Mbala. In Mbala, Sir Evelyn gave Mutembo a piece of land as a token in recognition of his status. The 5-hectare plot sits in an area which saw the last combat of the Second World War. Mutembo stayed in Mbala until October 17, 1964, when the colonial government sent a plane to bring him back to Lusaka. It was on the plane that Mutembo had his first glimpse of the Zambian flag. A week later, Zambia got its independence on 1964, October 24. On that day, Mutembo stood a few meters from Kaunda and Queen Elizabeth II. After the ceremony, Sir Evelyn Hone handed Mutembo over to Kaunda as the symbol of the nation. On October 23, 1974, during the celebrations of the 10th anniversary of Zambia's independence, the Freedom Statue was unveiled and became a symbol of Zambia's freedom from the British colonial regime and has earned its place on some of the country's most important articles, including its currency. The statue is a reminder of Zambia's fight for freedom. It is displayed at the government complex along Independence Avenue in Lusaka. It is at this statue where the laying of wreaths takes place every Independence Day in memory of the forefathers who died during the struggle. On October 24, 1984, during the 20th anniversary of Zambia's independence, Mutembo was honored with the Companion Order of Freedom by Dr. Kaunda for his contribution to the liberation struggle. So the statue that you see and you are in awe of how amazing of a statue is, there is a whole major story behind it. A story of perseverance, a story of struggle, a story of pain, and a story that has to continue being told over and over again so that we should not forget the sacrifices that were made for us to have our freedom, the sacrifices that were made so that we can be able to give our children and our children's children better lives, the struggles and the sacrifices that were made so that we can be able to understand and learn and know about our rights, freedom of speech, freedom of expression, the freedom to remember who we are and know who we are, the freedom to stand up against our oppressors. It is through people like Mpundu Mutembo that we are able to stand today and be thankful that we have the freedom that we have today. Is there still a long way to go in terms of black people getting the same privileges as white people, if ever it actually fully happens? Yes, but we've certainly come a long way from the time when the colonizers came into our lands and made us feel like we were imposters in our own God-given land. So I am grateful to Mpundu Mutembo. I am grateful to all the freedom fighters. I am grateful to all those who have died and sacrificed and paved the way for us. And I am going to consistently and continuously make it my mission to always promote the name of Zambia, our culture, our heritage, so that it can live on for generations upon generation. And so if you would like to read the story for yourself and read all the extra details that have been provided alongside the story of Mpundu Mutembo, you can go to chalochatu.org, spelled CHALOCHATU.org. Make sure that you bookmark their website where you can find out more information about Zambia's history and culture. For those who are watching, Did you know about these facts? Let me know down in the comments. Until next time, on another episode of Elakas Fanfare Fridays, it's goodbye from me, and take care. And take care.